John Pataikes is our expert in criminal justice. We welcome him back to discuss a growing trend which might surprise the audience. Why are we seeing a rise in senior citizens behind bars?
Yeah, Laura. About 10% of the prison population is age 55 and over. And some of the contributing factors have been the mandatory laws such as 3 strikes you're out, strict penalties for drug addiction, and generally keep in mind that longevity has gone up even for the public. So that also overlaps into the criminals are living longer. More and more states are declaring the death penalty unconstitutional, so therefore they're commuting that to life imprisonment without parole. So those are all factors why that population has gone up.
So is the population aging, or are older people committing more crimes?
Combination of both. They are finding that middle-aged people are committing more crimes, and people are generally living longer. Okay, longevity has gone up to 78 to 80. They say a child being born today, it will not be unusual to live to be 100 years old. So, you know.
Well, are senior citizens really considered dangerous?
Well, statistically, people age out of crime the older they get. Okay. Now, that's not to say that, you know, there are still obviously some dangerous people in there, but statistically they are less dangerous. Sometimes they just get tired of that life of crime. Physically, they're not as strong as they were when they're younger. So, yes, they are less riskier the older they get.
But I have to imagine the cost for incarcerating a senior citizen has got to be more expensive to taxpayers as well.
Oh, definitely. You know, the average cost for an inmate being in prison is $35,000 to $40,000. For people over 55, it averages out to $75,000 or more. Okay.
So, do inmates actually age faster when they're in a correctional institution?
That's another factor. Usually they do. It's a harsh environment. There's a lot of stress. You have a large population in most of the prisons. Most of them are overcrowded. So therefore, any infectious diseases are spread much more quickly. You know, so yes, they do age quicker in there. So
should we be paroling seniors earlier?
Well, that's something that some of the states are looking at. We can't just say, or we shouldn't just say, because a person hits a certain age that they should be paroled. You have to look at the risk factors. So if they reclassify them, current psychological, and then a complete review of their background, that could be a criteria to start releasing some older people.
Depending on how old you are, if you get a sentence of 5 to 10 years, it could, in essence, be a life or death sentence, depending on how old they are. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct, if that's the case, and if they come down with some illness that, you know, is not correctable, and that harsh environment, they age quicker, it could be.
As we round this out, how else can we address this issue?
Well, some of the states are creating separate units for the senior citizens, okay? Putting them in a separate unit, the thinking being that if we maintain their health, then they'll need less medical care. Because if you need medical care or an operation or prescriptions in a prison, you're going to get it, okay? And there's no reduced rate or discount because you're a prisoner. We call in a medical doctor from the outside. They're going to charge the same rates that any other doctor does, so it becomes very expensive. So some of the thinking is, let's create some special units for them and create healthy food environments, etc., so they'll need less medical care. All right. Another theory being tested right now is mixing senior citizens with younger inmates. Okay, build a 400-bed facility, put in 200 senior citizens and 200 cross-section of other inmates. The theory being that the senior citizens act as mentors to the younger inmates and have a calming effect on them, and the younger inmates look up to them as sort of mentor kind of things.
There's some interesting theories. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Look forward to having you back.
My pleasure. Thank you.